Okay, so let's go over Song Gong number 4 of the Song Gong Shangfa program. So first, it's important to have the understanding that we're doing Song Gong because we're developing releasing or developing a type of openness where energy doesn't get stuck. And no matter what information we get on the Song Gong program, it's important to have the nuts and the bolts to do any type of Song Gong. And the the nuts and the bolts, the really important qualities that are very important to have is the alignment needs to be proper. Okay, the posture and the alignment, meaning that the knees, the elbows, the shoulders, everything is nicely aligned. Okay, that's very important. Otherwise, it won't work in the song. Song is like one line energy that is evenly flush and properly in alignment that can work. Another quality that I talk a lot about that is important for song is you need to be here in the present moment. Meaning that when you're training, your mind is not somewhere else. It needs to be focused on what you're doing at that moment. And when that happens, then the energy can flow a lot better in the present moment. If you're thinking too much or your mind goes off into another something that you need to do later on or during whatever day, it's going to affect the training. So those things are very important in the fundamentals of any of the Song Gong exercises between 1 to 5. Now, on number 4, different than 1, 2, 3, and 5. On number 4, your body is going down, meaning that your half of your body is looking downwards, and then your arms are moving. So that whole area on number 4, whether we do sweeping, figure 8, Ming Man, or 转腰, rotating the waist, what you're cultivating is the waist, the commander. Okay, you're commanding the commander, and the commander is extremely important because it acts as like the driver, how your body is going to sink, how's your body going to turn, how's it going to move. We're constantly moving because in things like doing the Tai Chi form or the walking, right? You're constantly turning and sinking. So it needs to be done with the application of the commander, right? And if that part is not working efficiently, then the process of what you're learning in IST will be compromised, or you may never learn it at all. And that happens to a lot of people who practice Tai Chi because it just becomes a movement art where they're moving very slowly. It has value. It does provide some qualities of exercise and whatnot, but you won't get the qualities of IST, which is the application of the rolling 8 ball, the commander. So when you're in, for example, Song Gong number 4, when you're doing the first one, the sweeping, it's very common that your legs are going to be squatting up and down in a very short distance. You're actually pushing off and then pushing back down and pushing off because that's just how people experience it in the beginning. They don't know how to release. And then as a result, the arms begin to also swing physically to do like your feet. And that's going to happen early on. And depending on your health, depending on how strong and supple your back is, when you do it with your legs pushing and your arms moving physically, at some point, your lower back is going to have a lot of tension remain there. Like yesterday, Anna was saying, my thighs are hurting a lot. It's getting very sore. That's because energy is staying there. It's not moving. The same thing will happen when you're doing any of the number four subsets, whether sweeping or figure eight, etc. Is that the energy is staying in your lower back because you're doing it physically. Once you know how to do the movement where your legs and your arms and your waist become empty, now you let the energy go down and the energy rebound up. So take, for example, the sweeping on the first one. See, if this is my waist, my fist is constantly doing this internally. It's very supple. Energy goes down, energy rebounds back up, and this goes up. And when you're doing that, you're in constant proper alignment. You're constantly opening so that the energy doesn't get stuck in the lower back. Where does it go? Keeps on moving. It keeps on going to the ground and it rebounds back up because it becomes 再受一次 nonstop. Keeps going down, keeps coming up, keeps coming down. And then your legs and your arms don't have any separate action on its own. And when that happens, when you're doing all of them from the figure eight to the Mingman and rotation the waist, now your commander becomes what we call agile. It becomes very supple. Energy can come in and out in different directions. Okay, when you do sweeping, it's going in this direction. When you're doing figure eight, it's crisscrossing internally in your body. Okay, when you're doing Mingmen, the back Mingmen is constantly rotating like this. Okay, and then when you're doing Zhuan Yao, you're still in alignment. Your head doesn't turn, and now you're constantly rotating the waist while maintaining your alignment. So when you do all those four different angles and directions, right? Now you're developing the agility, the suppleness of your rolling eight ball. Okay, and the agility and the suppleness can only work is because the energy is coming from the ground. As soon as you push off with the legs, as soon as your arms begin to physically move separately, now it doesn't rebound. So you're not getting the moving of the energy when you're doing number four. It takes a while to really get to that feeling to do it right. But if you keep at it, you keep remembering the instructions that we provide at every class, I'm constantly repeating it. It's actually very comfortable. Even myself, as an athlete before I got into Tai Chi, doing number four was actually pretty tiring for me because I was doing it physically. And then I'm watching Sifu Chen. He's talking, he's smiling. I said, hey, 你不累啊?累什么?不累啊?很舒服啊,很轻松啊. He says, not tiring. It's very releasing. It's very, he's very comfortable because even in the bent position, he's still in alignment. The energy is still flowing up and down. He's still doing the cycle. And he doesn't have any residual tension bottling up in the lower back. And when you do four regularly, it's going to open up your lower back. It's going to open up the Mingmen. Not only open it up, you're going to be able to expand it. And as I said before, the expansion of the Mingmen is part of one of the gong, the five bowls. And the body is the most important bowl because it helps to connect the four limbs, the two legs, and the two arms. So number four actually has a very important role that it plays in the big picture, is that it's helping to unify the two legs and the two arms to connect as one energy. And without that, you won't be able to connect all the energies. Okay. So last night, Anna coming for the first time. I know I mentioned you a lot today, which is good. You say, hey, I cannot move you, Wayne. I keep pushing you this way. I keep pushing you this way. I cannot find you. Why? It's because the Mingmen already know how to express itself to connect the two arms and the two legs. You move me one way, the energy just flows through me, right? I'm not challenging your energy, but I'm not running away from it. That's what number 4 will do. It will help to open up the waist section to be very soft, open, and supple. And as a result, when that happens, energy knows how to flow right now in all different directions. Okay. But of course, we do 4 directions, but there's more than that because a circle has endless types of shapes. But we do the sweeping shape, we do the figure 8 shape, we do the Mingmen shape, and then we do the rotating waist shape. But in the overall practice, once you refine it, it's endless. I mean, if I wanted to, but I'm not, I could create another 4 different shapes on number 4, and it'll still be okay. But since there's already a system, I just follow the system, and that's okay. But in reality, once you understand the principle, you could create very different shapes. Like for example, the arm could be swinging in a different direction. That's okay too. So that's because once you understand the principle becomes the movement, no matter how you want to do it. That's perfectly fine. So that's on number 4. Okay. Normally in class, we do it 2 times because that's how it's taught in the program. That's the only one that's done twice in all the 5. So you can tell there's a significance behind it. Number 1 is done 1 time. Number 2 is done 1 time. Only number 4 is done twice. So there must be some importance, significance that is beyond just doing it, right? It represents a quality that is your core, right? The Dantian, the Mingmen, that midsection. So, so when we do it for 3 minutes, and when you do it yourself, you could do it a little bit shorter. You can also do it a little bit longer. The key thing is do what's comfortable for you and do it regularly. And when you do that, you will find that number 4 is actually just as comfortable as number 1, 2, and 3, and 5. Because what are we promoting? Song. So whether you do 1, you're doing song. Whether you're doing number 4, you're also doing song. But it's a little bit more challenging because the legs get involved, the arms get involved in a more active way, especially the legs. You're not pressing, you're not pushing, you're constantly pressing, releasing when you're doing the number 4, and you're absolutely doing the 5 R's. You remember the 5 R's, Sal? That's the first question you have on your first test after 1 month.
I know some of them releasing.
Okay, first, that's number 2. First thing, what is the first quality in internal system? The first R.
Relax.
You gotta receive.
Receive.
Yeah, you have to receive. You have to receive. You have to receive. That's the first thing you need to do when you practice IST. You have to somehow figure out how to receive. And within that receive, there's a lot of different things like relax, you gotta open. That's all part of receiving, right? But you gotta somehow receive it. You don't want to push it away. And then once you receive it internally, then you set the second R, which is releasing. Mm-hmm. And once you release, what happens to the third R?
I need help with that. I can't recall it.
It's rooting.
Rooting. rooting. Okay. Once you release, it has to go somewhere, right? Now you're developing rooting, and that rooting is not physical. That 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 rooting is very soft and gentle, and it's internal, right? It's rooting. It's like a tree growing its roots, and the longer it grows, the tree grows bigger. It becomes immovable, but the branches become very supple. They can still move, right? So after you have receiving, releasing, rooting, and what's the fourth one?
You know, I don't know it, but intuitively, it's like, is it rebound?
Very good. Rebounding. Because after you release it, it sinks, go down. What goes down wants to go up. That's yin and yang. That's a big part of the practice. And once it rebounds, of course, then the last one I'll share with you, that is returning. So when you're doing number 4, you're doing all 5. Right? Anytime you're doing energy correctly, in all the drills, you're doing the 5 R's. Because you're doing the cycle, right? You're doing the cycle. And that requires song, it requires 静下来, it requires alignment. They're all part of the equation. That's what you have. Okay, so that's song gong number 4. Okay, and that completes the 5. I've talked it on all 5, and I think Bob has saved it. From time to time, we can repost it, and then you can review it from time to time. Even myself,